It was just a plain cardboard box, so I didn't think much of it at first, but since I didn't remember putting it up there, I wanted to see if it was something that needed to go into storage or if it was just junk. I don't know what I was expecting, but inside the box, there was a photo album, a trash bag, and a black leather bag. The album just had my name plus Lee's written on the cover, so I thought it'd be something sweet, because Lee has a tendency to gift me sentimental things, but no. The album was full of intimate pictures of myself, all of them marked with dates and a short journal-like entry. The first one was from our first time when we were teens, and the latest one was marked from the night I surprised him with my pregnancy announcement. Most of the pictures are poor quality, but some are clearly of me sleeping after we had bedroom intimacy. These journal entries talk about how he ranks each experience and his favorite part of it, like some weird logbook. Inside the bags were some of my old intimate clothes, and even some old razors and hairbrushes. I don't know why on earth he keeps them, but he has 2 bags full. I don't know how, or what, to do. I mean, is this normal behavior? Is this some twisted form of romance on his part? A part of me feels like I shouldn't feel as disgusted as I am, but this violates my own boundaries since I explicitly told him in the past that I was against sending or giving him any intimate photos. What do I do? I love my husband, but I'm not sure how to confront him about this. Update 5 months later. So I'm not sure if anyone cares, but while I didn't reply to any of the comments, I did end up talking with my husband about this just a few days ago. I'm not going to lie, I wanted to just act like I didn't see anything and go on with my happy life, but after giving birth to my baby girl about a month and a half ago, I guess the stress and everything added up, and I let it slip during an argument. I don't remember all that was said, but I was exhausted, and my husband, while he's been super helpful, taking over the household chores and helping out with our baby girl, had just been getting on my nerves. I sort of exploded on him in a way I'm not proud of. Worst of all, he wasn't even doing anything wrong. All he had been doing was reminiscing about how I used to make a Sims family of us when I was in uni, and how creepy it was. He said it endearingly. I don't really know why I got so mad, but I basically said something along the lines of how he's the creepy one because he has a secret stash of stuff hidden from me. I felt really bad because he got all pale and went quiet, and then he sort of said he needed space and went to blow off some steam at the shooting range, which he does a lot when he needs to think, so I didn't question it. He came back home around dinner and said he was ready to talk. I asked him about all of the things I found, especially the photos. I reminded him again that I never agreed to making pics like that of any sort, and he apologized and agreed to burn them. Apparently, our history goes back further than even I knew, as he recounted that we actually met before high school. I had no idea, but his mom, who's a divorce attorney, was the very same one my mom used when she separated from her first husband, not my dad. I called my mom afterward to confirm, and she told me it was true, but she and my mother-in-law never told me because my mom's divorce was messy and she hates talking about it. Anyway, back to the first meeting. My mother-in-law often had Lee hang out around her office after school, and it was during one of these days that my mom had to take me with her to speak with my mother-in-law in person. Lee was actually the boy I played with in the waiting room. I can't believe he remembered that, because I totally forgot it. So, according to him, that first meeting was the day he knew I was special. Lee told me that while he had tried to pass it off as a crush, it never really went away as he got older. This led him to look into his mom's case files. In my state, attorneys have to keep them for 7 years, and he found my mom on Facebook, then my dad and her friends list, and managed to find my first and last name in order to find my Instagram. He convinced his parents to let him transfer from his private K-12 school to my public high school, using the excuse that they had a better athletics program, which isn't actually far-fetched since my high school was one of the best in the state for that, once he found out where I was going, thanks to my dumb self putting it in my bio. I thought that our meeting was a sheer coincidence, and that we fell in love naturally, a classic sort of high school sweetheart story. But no, Lee had orchestrated it all. I took my daughter with me to stay with my mom and stepdad, while Lee agreed to stay home and let me think. I spoke to my mom, as well as my mother-in-law and father-in-law. Lee's parents are not happy with him, in all honesty, and my mother-in-law is especially mad because of client confidentiality. My mom gave me some good advice. She suggested I reflect on whether Lee had displayed any other red flag behaviors. I can honestly say that no, he hadn't, but since I know I'm biased, I asked my friends and those close to me if they noticed anything. So far, everything else about Lee seems to check out. I've never felt endangered by him, even when I told him I needed some distance for a few days. I want to make this marriage work, but is this something that therapy can fix? Up in the comments. Hi, this is really late for a reply, and I'm sorry about that. I wasn't ready to acknowledge it for a long time. Lee told me that he didn't mean anything by it and just wanted to have a keepsake collection of some memorable moments we shared. But he did acknowledge that he knew it was wrong and apologized, and he promised me he'd get rid of the pictures by burning them. Update 1 month later. Lee and I have since been going to couples counseling, and he's also attending individual therapy. After the drama that happened a few months ago, He had a come to Christ moment where he realized that the way he had been obsessing over the idea of me wasn't the same as a healthy love. We spent a few weeks apart so he could work on himself, and he turned over his devices, passwords, and accounts to me so that I could go through them and calm my worries because I was really anxious about the explicit photos. Since then, though, we're back in our house with our baby girl, and our marriage is back on track and better for it. Commenter. Yeah, that last little update sounds like when Joe would text and post from people's phones. Has anyone checked their basement for a glass cage?